Hello, good evening. Welcome back to our January week 2. This is the second week of January. Okay, well, hello. Hi, Kavi. Right, welcome back to our January week 2 class. Okay, happy Wednesday. Apparently, there's only you today. Everyone is late as usual. Okay, hi, Kavi. Can you hear me? All right, Happy New Year. How are you? How are you? Did you? Oh, okay. Did you get my replay last week? I think I sent it to you, if I remember it correctly. Hi, Gabriel. How are you? Good evening. Is anyone else coming? Hello. So, right. Where are we going today? We are continuing with our chapter 1, your Form 5 chapter 1. Oh, right. How's your exam, by the way, guys? You guys finish your exam, huh? You guys finish your exam? I think, oh, haven't why is it so late? Why is it so late? Oh, the Chinese, you'll be finishing it before Chinese New Year, right? So, okay, next Monday, right. Wow, your school is a bit late, huh? Your school is a bit late, huh? Because most of my schools have already done science exam already. Okay. So anyway, guys, we finished this last week, huh? The only thing you did with best confidence level. Okay. Wow. Oh, that's good. Uh, that means science is like your best subject, Kavi, is it? That's good to know. Oh, okay. Keep it up though. Keep it up though. Because you'll be saving a lot of time for at least you get your science down, then you can allocate other time for your other subjects when SPM comes. Right, guys, you have exactly almost 1 year before your SPM, because I heard next year SPM will be in January. They will try to pull this thing forward. They'll try to pull this thing 1 month earlier. So in exactly 1 year, you'll be sitting for SPM. All right. It's not a lot of time, 1 year, because we have so many things to do this year. Anyway, so we finished what is your microorganism. Okay, the 5 types of microorganism. Okay, your fungi. We mentioned fungi last week, right? Like I said, don't focus on your size and shape. They are not important in your exam. Focus on your nutrition. Fungi, they are mostly saprophyte. That means they feed on dead stuff. They eat dead stuff. Parasites means they eat living stuff. I mentioned this, as a living human being right now, if a fungi were to grow on you, it is a parasite. But when you drop dead, when you die, if a fungi grows on you, they are called a saprophyte. Okay, notice the difference, and habitat, usually they are directly affected by nutrition. Since fungi, they don't need sunlight, they will live in somewhere dark and moist. They don't like sunlight. Okay, and as for reproduction, all, I would say most fungus, they will do spore formation. This is their asexual, and they will do conjugation for their sexual. They can choose whether they want to do asexual or sexual. You guys know what's the difference? Asexual means they reproduce by themselves. Sexual means they will have sex with other fungus and grow another baby. So they will do asexual by doing spore formation, or they can do conjugation. Conjugation is their sex. But for yeast, like I said before, please pay attention here. Yeast is a bit special. Yeast, they will do budding instead. What is budding? That means they will grow all these tiny babies. We call it buds, and then they will break it off so they get new yeast. Okay, pay attention to yeast, guys. Pay attention to yeast. This chapter, they love asking about yeast. Love asking about it. Okay, so pay attention to yeast. Okay, so next, let's jump straight to algae. Today, I will finish all. I will finish algae, I will finish protozoa, I will finish bacteria, and I will finish virus as well. Okay, but I'm not rushing, guys. I'm not rushing. I will do it slowly because next week, we have one more class, and next week will be your Chinese New Year. So I don't want to do anything too heavy for Chinese New Year, before Chinese New Year, because most likely you'll be forgetting it. Yeah, anyway, so let's go to algae. So what is algae? Algae, they are green microorganisms. They are, like I said before, they are mini plants. Right? Algae, they are mini plants, tiny plants that lives in water. Right? So let's read a little bit on the size. You're not paying attention to these two, but just read some for fun. So macroscopic algae, you have your sea algae. You can see it with your naked eyes. This is like your seaweed. And then microscopic one, you have your Chlamydomonas and your Spirogyra. Do you guys still remember what is this? You guys learned this in Form 1, right? If you have memory of your Form 1 lah. Right? So you have your Chlamydomonas. This thing looks like a freaking cockroach, right? You learn this in Form 1, Chapter 2, and you have this thing called Spirogyra. No, they are plant cells. Okay, they are plant cells. See, they are plants. They're plants. They're mini plants. Right? So they can be unicellular or they can be multicellular. I'm sure you remember this as well in your Form 1. Unicellular means they're single cell. Multicellular means they are many cells. Okay. Anyway, so right, let's pay attention to their nutrition, habitat, and reproduction. So as you know, they are plants. So what they do? They will do photosynthesis. Right? They are not saprophytes. They are not parasites. They will not live on you. They will not live on you whether you are dead or you're alive. They will not live on you. Right? So they only do photosynthesis. And since, like I said, habitat is directly affected by nutrition, right? So what they do, where do they live? They will live anywhere with sunlight. Right? You go to ponds, you go to some shallow water or soil or tree barks, anywhere with sunlight, you can almost certainly see them. Sometimes you can even see them in longkang. Right? You see them, you see those longkang exposed to sunlight one, you see green color stuff growing on the longkang wall there. That's the that's the algae lah. Right? So anywhere with sunlight, you'll see them. Right? So for reproduction, they will do asexual reproduction by doing binary fission. And they will do sexual by conjugation. Same as up there, they do conjugation. They do conjugation. Where is it? There, conjugation. So they're almost the same as fungus, but fungus, they do spore formation. The difference is they do spore formation, but for algae, they do binary fission. Do you guys remember what is binary fission? Or what is conjugation? Conjugation is them having sex. It's microorganism having sex, like humans, right? Do you remember what is binary fission? Do you remember what is binary fission? You learned this in your Form 1. Binary fission means 1 becomes 2. Okay, 1 they split into 2. Binary fission. It's just like, you remember the 5 methods of asexual reproduction? You have binary fission, you have budding, you have spore formation, you have regeneration, you have vegetative reproduction. This was in your Form 1, right? But if you don't remember, it's okay. Binary fission means 1 becomes 2. They split themselves into 2. A little bit different from budding. Budding, they will grow tiny babies and then they will split. This is they straight away split into 2. They chop themselves into half. That's the difference. Okay, not growing a small baby. Okay, guys, are you okay? Are you okay? So I'm keeping everything short here. I'm keeping everything short here. All right. Anyway, let's jump into protozoa. So just now, algae, there are many plants, right? There are many plants, right? So now, protozoa, they are mini animals. All right, they are mini animals. So you can say that these protozoa, they are our ancestors. Right? They are our ancestors. Protozoas, they are human. A few billion years ago, we used to look like this. Right? All animals used to look like this. Fish, whatever, mammals, amphibians, fish, whatever. We all used to look like this, right? A few billion years ago. So these are tiny animals. Okay, so they are our closest cousin. among all 5 microorganisms, these are our closest cousin, right? They are mostly unicellular, right? I'm sure you remember what is a paramecium. You learned this in Form 1 too. They look like a slipper with hair, right? Algae can both do asexual. Yes, Kavi, that's correct. I would say most microorganisms, they can either do asexual or sexual. Just like your algae, just like your fungus, your fungi. Okay, later your protozoa too. Okay, your protozoa too. So this looks like a slipper with hair, and amoeba, they just look like this fried egg. Your fried egg looks like this. Okay, you don't need to pay attention to them lah. It's okay. Anyway, for nutrition, right? So just now, you remember last week, your fungus, your fungi, they are saprophytes or parasite, right? They eat dead stuff or living stuff, right? And for algae, they are photosynthesis, right? Protozoa, they can be all three. They can be photosynthesis, they can do parasite, they can also do saprophyte. So they can be all three. So you see, protozoa, they are pretty weird. You might say, sir, since they are tiny animals, right? They are mini animals, right? How can they do photosynthesis? Why don't just put them into algae? I don't know. You see, I'm sure the scientists they have their reasons to classify under here, right? Like for example, Euglena, why is it not an algae? Maybe because the Euglena can move, right? Because you see, plants cannot move. Algae, they cannot move. But in order to move, you need to be a protozoa. That's why Euglena is considered as a protozoa, but they can do photosynthesis. You see, this family is really weird. Protozoa is a very weird microorganism. Right? They can do all three, and then their habitat, like I said, it depends on what they eat. So if it's Euglena, of course, they would like to live somewhere near water with sunlight. And if they do parasite or if they do saprophyte, of course, they don't like sunlight. So it depends on what they eat. It depends on their nutrition, right? And as for reproduction, this is really simple. They are exactly the same as algae. Exactly the same. They can either do asexual binary fission or they can do sexual conjugation. You see, same thing, exact same as your algae just now. So protozoa and algae, they are the same. Mini plant and mini animal, they reproduce the same way. They reproduce the same way. All right, are you guys following? Are you guys following? Are you guys following? Kavi, are you okay? Good, good. Gabriel, are you okay? Kinda. What are you not following? Please let me know, okay? Feel free to ask anything. How's your science preparation going along, Gabriel? Are you prepared for your exam? Your brain a bit sluggish. Okay, okay. I'll try to go slow if that's the case. Try to go slow. Why? Because exam too tired, is it? You study on the day of the exam. Then your science okay? You sure your science okay? Okay. I'm sure you're too tired. Okay, sure. That's good. Okay, so let's go to bacteria. And if you see bacteria, right, they look really colorful. They come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, right? Sometimes when the exam goes crazy, they will ask you about the shape. Okay, so spherical is called coccus. Okay, spiral is spirillum. Rod is bacillus, and comma is vibrio. So if you say, sir, screw this, I'm not going to study this, it's okay. I don't blame you, right? Because even sometimes you ask me, I don't understand too. Anyway, so let's look at their nutrition. Again, they are like your protozoa. They can be photosynthesis, they can be parasitic, they can be saprophytic. So they are like very close to protozoa. They can be all three. So again, habitat, same thing. They can be in sunlight, they can be not in sunlight. It depends, right? But guys, fun fact, most bad smell that you smell at home, they are caused by bacteria, right? I'm sure, guys, with your water bottle, right? If you haven't washed it in a while, the opening here where you put it near your mouth, it smells bad, isn't it? Bacteria, right? After you wash it, it's no more smell. That's the bacteria. If your bed sheet smells, your pillow smells, your sofa smells, I'm sure sometimes your towel smells. Okay, your towel. if you haven't washed a towel in a while, it kind of smells funny. That's because of the bacteria. So what do? You wash it, you put it under the sun. Okay, you put it under the sun because most bacteria, they hate the sun. So you kill everything and then you restore the fresh smell, right? Anyway, so for reproduction, this is even easier. It's the same as up there. They can do asexual, binary fission. They can do sexual, conjugation. You see, same thing again. Same thing again. So, guys, next time before you go for exam, right? Next time before you go for exam, I will give you this summary. Can you see all 5 types are here? Can you see all 5 types are here? So you see, let me summarize the front 4. Let me summarize the front 4. You see, fungi, they can be saprophyte, they can be parasite. Algae, they only do photosynthesis. Protozoa, all 3. Bacteria, all 3. All right, so the habitat, you can read it yourself. But the reproduction, fungi, they will do spore formation, conjugation. These 3, they are the same, right? Algae, protozoa, bacteria, they reproduce the same way. Binary fission, binary fission, binary fission. Conjugation, conjugation, conjugation. They reproduce the same way. So is this part hard? No, it's not hard. It's not hard at all. It's really straightforward. There you go. Okay, there you go. So there's one more thing I want to mention. There's one more thing I want to mention here. Bacteria, they have some special characteristic. They can withstand extreme surrounding. If things are really cold or sometimes really hot or sometimes really dry, bacteria can survive, right? How do they do that? They will form something called endospore. Endospore. That means they will close themselves with a very strong coat that they don't die. Okay, what do I mean? If you buy a piece of chicken, guys, do you know that all uncooked meat has a lot of bacteria? This is why you cook your meat. You should always cook your meat, right? So for bacteria, right, for let's say if you buy a piece of chicken, if you buy a piece of raw chicken from the market, on it, it's full of bacteria, right? It's full of bacteria. So what do? You put it into the freezer. You put it into the freezer. So do you kill the bacteria in the freezer? No. Freezer is like negative 17 to 30 degrees Celsius. They don't die. They just become inactive, right? So when your bacteria is inactive, they just don't spoil your food, right? Rather, they won't die. They will just form an endospore. So they will close themselves. They will protect themselves until the situation becomes favorable again. The weather turns warm again, they will become active again. So this is how they protect themselves, right? So cold doesn't kill bacteria. Hot, yes, right? You need 100 degrees Celsius to kill bacteria, and you need 120 degrees Celsius to kill the spores. The spores, they can last, very long. They can withstand very extreme temperature, right? So that's why bacteria, they're very strong. Bacteria, they are everywhere. They can survive in every situation imaginable. They are okay. Okay, they are okay. Right. So I have a question here, guys. I have a question here. I'm sure some of you don't eat beef. Okay, I don't eat beef too because of religious reason. Okay, I'm a Thai Buddhist, so I don't eat beef. So I'm sure if you're a Hindu, then I'm sure you don't eat beef too. Right, but I have a question here. When you cook chicken, you fully cook it, right? You have to cook it 100%. But why some meat, we don't cook it well? You get what I mean? Like if you see people who eat steaks, okay, like beef steaks or like maybe they eat lamb, they will cook it like medium rare or medium. Why? Why is it like that? Because I have a student asking me this that day. Sir, how can we eat medium rare steak? Do you know what is medium rare? Guys, do you know what is medium rare? So if you eat beef, I'm sure you have heard of medium rare, you have heard of medium, you have heard of medium well done, and you have heard of well done. All right. So a little bit of knowledge for y'all. Yes, cook level, yes, correct. Rare is when it's 0% cooked. Yes, there are people that eat rare. Rare steak, that means they put the steak on the fire for 20 seconds. The outside is a bit brown. The inside is fully red. It's freaking disgusting. I think you can almost hear the cow moo, right? So that's rare. And then Medium rare, it's 30% cooked. Okay, 30%, 30% cooked. Medium is half done, okay, half cooked. Medium well done is 70% cooked. Well done is 100% cooked. And 100% for many chefs, if you order well done steak, it's like an insult. Okay, it's like an insult. The cow died for nothing. The cow died in vain, right? Because for very expensive beef, like you know what's Wagyu? You know it's Wagyu. Wagyus are very expensive Japanese beef, right? One piece of steak can cost you 200 to 300 ringgit. Just one piece of meat, okay? If you eat like Kobe beef, those are the highest level of Wagyu beef. It costs a lot of money. You're not supposed to eat it well done, right? It's an insult to the chef, right? Because you're not supposed to do that, right? Let me ask you something. We eat medium rare steak, which is 30% done, we won't die. You won't get food poisoning at all. It's perfectly safe. But why is it not okay for chicken? Chicken, it needs to be 100% cooked. Even sometimes you eat 90% cooked chicken, if you're bad luck, if you're unlucky, you will get the worst diarrhea of your life, right? Ask me how I know, because I had this before, right? Because I was at a steamboat store, okay? I cooked the chicken maybe not too well. I swear it tasted all well to me. But before I know it, when I go home, oh my God, the worst diarrhea of my life, right? For like 3 days. So why is it not okay for chicken? But why is it okay for beef? Anyone? Anyone knows this? All right, so here goes. Why is it like this? It's because of the protein structure. It's because of the protein structure. No, it's not the blood. It's the protein structure. What do I mean? You see, chicken's protein, they are very loose. Okay, chicken's protein are not that tight. So that's why when you press chicken meat, they are soft compared to lamb, right? Lamb's meat is very hard, isn't it? Right? So chicken protein, they are very loose. So they have tiny pores on the meat. You know what are pores? Holes. They have holes on the meat. So bacteria can actually penetrate the hole and reproduce inside. So for your chicken, right, even the middle, the center part has bacteria inside. So you have to cook it fully. You have no choice, right? But for beef and lamb, their protein structure is very tight. There's no pores or holes on it, so bacteria cannot go inside. So for beef and lamb, the bacteria only grows outside the meat, right? So to be fair, technically speaking, as long as you cook the surface, you can eat them already, right? But I don't think lamb, you eat it well done, you eat it medium rare, because even fully cooked lamb, it has this lamb smell, which I love, right? I love eating lamb, but my wife cannot stand it. For her, it's really smelly. You know lamb shank, you know lamb shoulder. I really love that lamb smell, but for her, it's like the most disgusting thing in the world. Right? It's like pork lah. It's like pork lah. I'm very okay with pork, but for my wife, she thinks that pork smells bad. Certain pork, okay, those tasteless, smellless pork, she's okay. But if it's those expensive pork that has that pork smell, wow, she cannot tahan. You love lamb too? See, I do. Lamb curry is the best, right? Lamb curry is the best. Okay, so I can just have some lamb curry with some naan. This is like the best combination ever. Right. Anyway, so this is why you don't cook. You have to cook chicken fully. Okay, case in point, guys. Case in point, I had a student last time. She went to a steamboat. She did not cook the chicken fully. And unfortunately, there were salmonella bacteria on it. You know what is a salmonella bacteria? Salmonella bacteria is one of the nasty bacteria that you can get. So she got salmonella poisoning. Okay, she got salmonella poisoning. She got admitted to hospital for 1 week. Okay, and unfortunately, she did not buy any insurance. That trip cost her 6,000. Just because of one piece of uncooked meat. right? So guys, the moral of the story, number one, is to buy an insurance. Number two is to cook your chicken fully. Yes, sure, an overcooked chicken tastes terrible. Have you overcooked a chicken before? If you go for hot pot or steamboat, if you overcook a chicken, your chicken will taste really dry. But hey, rather dry than dying. Yes, no taste at all. At least you won't die. At least you won't die. Right? So there you go, right? So bacteria, they're everywhere. Okay, bacteria, they're everywhere. So when we cook meat, what we are trying to do is we are trying to kill the bacteria so that you don't die. Okay. I mean for salmon, for beef, for lamb, the bacteria cannot penetrate the meat. So that's why there's no need for you to cook them. Right? So anyway, I'm sure you guys are okay, I'm sure you guys are okay. So yeah, one more thing. Can you see bacteria has a cell wall? Okay, can you see bacteria has a cell wall? Bacteria is really special. They have this cell wall. So for the longest time, right? We have no idea how to punch through this cell wall because this cell wall is not like plant. Plant cell wall very easy to break. One. Plant cell wall, you just cook it, the cell wall will break. But this bacteria, right? Their cell wall is like a very well-built wall. You cannot penetrate this for the longest time. For thousands of years, we have no idea how to penetrate this until recently. The previous 100 years, there's a medicine that we found that can punch through this cell wall. What is it? You actually learned this last year, right? Remember the 3 types of medicine you learned in chapter 10, was it? Was it chapter 10? What were the 3 types of medicine you learned last year, right? No, not Panadol. Okay, you have something called analgesic. Remember, analgesic is your painkiller. Remember, your analgesic. And then you have your psychotherapeutic. That is for your brain, okay, to calm you down or to stimulate you. What's the third type? The thing used to kill bacteria. What is it called? What is it called? You guys had your exam soon, right? Or yes, Kavi, that's very good. You have your antibiotics. Right? Antibiotics. What makes antibiotics so good? Because antibiotics, they specifically target the cell wall. They will break this cell wall like it's nothing. So when you break this cell wall, bacteria dies, right? And antibiotics, they don't kill our cell because our cells, our human cells, we have no cell wall. So this thing, it doesn't affect us, but it kills all the bacteria. So you see, so can you see why this antibiotic is like a miracle drug? For thousands of years, we couldn't break this thing, but recently we can, right? So this is an animal. Yes, this is an animal. Bacteria is an animal. Bacteria is an animal. So this thing can break the cell wall. Okay, you guys okay? Are you guys okay? So guys, don't pay too much attention here lah. It will be fine. Don't worry. Now I want you to learn this for fun. I want you to learn this for fun because next time before your exam, I will repeat this thing. I will tell you what to focus on. All right. So let's jump next to virus. Okay, this is the most headache thing ever. Like I told you last week, virus, they are a non-living thing. They don't do respiration. They don't eat. You see, there's no nutrition here. There's no nutrition here, no habitat here. And even their reproduction is very special. You see, virus can only reproduce with a host. Who is the host? You are the host. Like for example, COVID virus. You know, coronavirus, right? COVID virus. COVID virus, once they leave your body, they will die. They will die in a few hours. But when they go into your body, they will use your cell. They will use, you are the host, right? You are the host. They will use your cell and they will reproduce. They will use your cell to help them reproduce so that they can go and infect other cells. Right? So they are like a little spy. Viruses are like spies. They go into your body, they steal your information, and then they steal your information and use it for themselves. So virus is very funny. So without this host, right? Without this host, virus will die. Virus cannot reproduce. So that's the thing. You see, virus, they're very They are very pesky, very, very hard to handle. And not to mention virus, they are really small. They are less than 0.5 micrometer. That's like really, really small. For comparison, bacteria is like 10 micrometer. That means, okay, if you put it in cm, if a bacteria is 10 cm, a virus is 0.5 cm. Can you see the size difference? Can you see the size difference? So bacteria, they are quite chunky, they are quite heavy. Virus, they are pretty damn small. That's why virus, they can spread much easier. That's why COVID, they spread much easier. That's the reason why. Right? So anyway, let's look at the shapes. Virus, they come in many size and shape. They can be spherical, that means round. They can be helix. Okay, that means they spin. They can be polyhedral, that means they look like, hexagon. They can look like a spider. Right? Guys, do you know what's an influenza virus? Do you know what is this? Do you know what is this? Do you know what's an influenza virus? This is the thing that makes you sick every year. Yes, flu. Very good. You see a flu here? This thing makes you sick every year. Right? It makes you sick every year. So pretty much it. Pretty much it. So this is your virus. Right? Nothing to say about them. That they don't reproduce. Okay, they don't do anything. And usually inside them, they have RNA. Can you see? They don't even have DNA. They have RNA. The RNA is a simpler DNA. Our DNA is very complicated. Okay, you remember our DNA in gene? Our DNA is a double helix, right? RNA is just one strand. You see, really simple. They have an RNA and they have a protein layer. That's all. That's all. They have nothing else. They have no nucleus, no mitochondria, no cell membrane, no cytoplasm, nothing. They are just one RNA and a protein layer. Okay, pretty much it. So your virus is the easiest to study because there's nothing to study. Virus is really simple. Okay, so anyway, so this is it for our all microorganisms. So let me do a summary again. Okay, let me do a summary again. So this is your summary. Don't worry, I'll give you this for your first term exam. I'll give this summary for you. So we don't focus on the size, we don't focus on the shape. Okay, nutrition, fungi, they are cell-profit, or they can be parasite. Algae, they are photosynthesis. Protozoa and bacteria, they are all three. Virus, they don't have any. Virus, they don't eat. And for habitat, it depends on what they eat. So fungi, they live in dark and moist place. Algae, protozoa, algae, they live under sunlight. Protozoa and bacteria, they can be anywhere. Depends on what type they are. Okay, and as for reproduction, your fungi, they do spore formation and conjugation, and yeast, they do budding. This is a special case. Algae, protozoa, and bacteria, they do the same thing. They all do binary fission, and they all do conjugation. Okay, so that's the what is phagocytosis? Okay, give me this one. Give me this one. You want I can roughly tell you. Okay, phagocytosis. You remember this one in your white blood cell? You remember your form 2? You studied your 3 lines of defense, right? Your first line of defense, second line, third line. Second line is when your white blood cell go and eat the bacteria, right? You actually learned this in form 2. So the process of your white blood cell eating the bacteria, this process is called phagocytosis. You actually learned this in form 2. If you remember, okay, phagocytosis. So not just white blood cell does it, your amoeba, they do this too. Okay, you see, they engulf food, they eat, they swallow the food like this. You don't need to know, okay? So it's just no. You actually have one more cell-profit here. They didn't mention here, okay? There can be cell-profit too. They can be cell-profit too. They didn't write it here, so it's 3. So protozoa and bacteria, they are the same. Okay, any question, guys? Any question, guys? Really simple, really simple. Actually, right, I don't want you to focus here because next week we will go into factors. What makes your bacteria grow well? What makes it not grow well? This is actually more important. This part, right? Sometimes you study your ass off, it only comes out like 2 objective questions. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time. Okay, I mean, first term exam, of course, it's not like that. First term exam, they'll ask more on this. But usually the midterm, the trials and the SPM, they won't ask so detailed about this part, right? Because it's just too easy, too straightforward. Okay, this is not sejarah. Anyway, let's go to our exercise, shall we? Let's go to our exercise, see if we can finish this today. Okay, we'll try to. So number 1, what are microorganisms? Okay, microorganisms, they are minute organisms. Okay, minute, if you need BM, minute means cerny, that means it's very small. Okay, minute organisms can only be seen under a microscope. Okay, can only be seen under a microscope. So next, name 5 groups of microorganisms. Oh, this is really easy. Yes, minute is very small. Yes. So you have fungi, you have algae, protozoa, bacteria, and virus. Okay, so 5 types here. 5 types here. I mean, in SPM, they want us like this lah. You think you just give 5 types, they give you 3 marks, you slowly wait lah. It's not gonna happen. So number 2, what are the characteristics used to classify microorganisms into 5 groups? How do we split them into 5 groups? We have so many ways of splitting them. The 3, what do we learn? We split them using nutrients. Okay, or sorry, not nutrition. Nutrition, using habitat, and using method of reproduction. We study these 3, right? We don't focus on the shape and size. You want to say shape and size also can one. But these are the 3 we focus on, right? Your nutrition, what do they eat? How do they feed themselves? Is it saprophyte or parasite or photosynthesis? Where do they live? And how do they reproduce? Is it spore formation? Is it binary fission? Is it budding? Is it conjugation? Or they don't reproduce at all, just like virus. So this is how we classify them. So C, name the group of microorganisms that reproduces asexually through the formation of spore. So who reproduce sexually through spore? There's only one group that uses spore. That would be your fungus. Yes, very good. Fungus, right? Hey guys, you get spores from mushrooms. Do you know that? You know mushrooms? Underneath your mushroom, okay, let's say this is your mushroom. Okay, this is your mushroom. At the bottom here, these are your spores. The black dots are your spores. Okay. Hey, sometimes you get it on your shirt too. Do you know that? Sometimes if you don't dry your shirt enough, white shirt, you start to see black colored dots on it, right? Those are the spores. Those are the spores, and they start growing more already. Usually that happens when you don't dry your clothes enough and you don't put them under the sun. Right? Because the sun has UV, it will kill all the fungus. So it is actually, you should put your clothes under the sun. Right? I mean, guys, lately, many people that are just getting lazy. They don't dry their clothes anymore. They just use a dryer. Do you have a dryer at home? All right. Some people, they buy a washing machine and a dryer machine. So which is better? Drying your clothes under the sun, is it better, or using a dryer is better? Yes, that's correct. Dryer uses too much electricity, and dryer, they don't disinfect your clothes as well as the sun. If you put your clothes under the sun or near the sun, it has free UV. Your clothes will smell very fresh. But from dryer, I mean, dryer is convenient, that's all, right? The sun is free. Hey, we get sunlight like, 3 every day. Yes, it's expensive. You guys have dryers? You guys have dryers? I was going to buy one, you know. I was going to buy one because I'm moving next year. Next year I'm moving my house. So I was going to buy a dryer until I realized that until I see reviews that they say a dryer can cost a lot of money of electricity. Well, how do you guys know? You guys have no dryer, but how do you guys know it's very expensive? The electricity is very expensive. Right. Anyway, so I actually cancelled my I changed my plan lah. Okay, I don't want a dryer anymore because I just okay. Oh, you went to Dobby Laundry. Oh, okay. I mean, you guys hate hanging clothes, isn't it? You know, the most annoying thing about doing laundry is by hanging clothes. I absolutely hate it. I mean, washing it with a washing machine, I'm fine, but you have to take it out and you have to hang it. It's a lot of trouble, but saves money, lor. Yeah, it helps during rainy season. I agree, but for us Malaysians, I mean, if you live in a winter country, I understand lah. But for Malaysia, we are hot as hell every day. If you buy a dryer, that would be a waste of money. Okay, and plus it's easier to spoil too. Right. Anyway, so two basic structure that make up a virus, like I told you before, is the RNA and a protein membrane. Okay, a protein membrane. Okay, easy peasy. Of course, your exam won't be this straightforward lah. For this chapter, right, most exam, what they will ask is experiments. They will ask you about the factors. They won't ask you this kind of factual question because there's not much facts here. Right, so P to T. So what are they? Can you name me from P to T? What is P? Yes, simpler version of DNA, Kavi, that's correct. DNA is like that. RNA is like that. It's only one. DNA is double. So what is P? What is P? This golden orange color looking ball. What is it? Yes, it's a fungi. Very good. So what about Q? Have you guys seen this thing before? You know where do you see this? You know where do you see this? Do you guys watch any commercials? Yes, this is a bacteria. If you watch commercials, have you watched those Dettol or Lifebuoy commercial? Right? They zoom in your hand, you see this. And that's the bacteria lah. And then they say, oh, the Dettol shower gel will kill 99.9% of bacteria. And then they kind of look like this. Right? So that's the bacteria. So what about R? R is the only green one here with the negative effect. Oh, okay. So, and then your R is your algae. Okay, algae. And then what about S? S is the funny looking one, like I said. So this is definitely your virus. And then T. T will be your, there's only one left, right? So that will be a protozoa, I guess. Okay, protozoa. So who has a cell wall and cell membrane and who has no cell wall and cell membrane? So who has a cell wall? Bacteria has a cell wall. Like I said, they are very special. They are the only animal with cell wall. And then algae has a cell wall. Okay, because they're plants. So Q and R has a cell wall. Okay, Q and R has a cell wall. The rest of it, they don't have cell wall. Fungus, virus, and protozoa, they have no cell wall. P, S, and T. They have no cell wall. Okay, so next, B. Name the group of microorganisms that has no cell wall and no membrane. Okay, we named it just now. Okay, we did name all three. So fungi, virus, and protozoa. So C, name organism P, we did. So this is a fungi. T has a rectangular shape. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing too. Isn't this the cell wall? I don't think so because protozoa has no cell wall. Okay, maybe it's not the cell wall. I don't know. Right, guys, I'm not a microorganism expert. Don't ask me too detailed. Okay, I might not answer you. I might not be able to answer you. So number 2, is microorganism P useful microorganism or pathogen? So what is P? P is actually your yeast. Do you know this? This is actually your yeast. All right, they want you to name P, right? So why not we name it as yeast? Okay, they don't want the group name, they want the name, the exact name of P. So that's your yeast. So it is a useful microorganism. Why? Okay, guys, I might not I might not have taught this before, but what is yeast for? What is yeast for? Okay, good, is to make for making bread or any pastry or yes, good, alcohol. Oh, I think I told you guys this, right? So yeast is really good. So we'll be learning this next week, I guess. Maybe if you have the time to go into that. By the way, guys, next Thursday is your last class. If I'm not mistaken, check the calendar again. Don't quote me. I think last Thursday is the last class. Next Thursday or Friday or Wednesday. I also forgot already. Thursday or Wednesday. Check your calendar, and then we'll be going for holiday for 1 week for Chinese New Year. Okay, for Chinese New Year. You guys are getting a lot of holiday, isn't it? You guys are getting a lot of holiday. You see, you get 3 weeks of holiday, like in December. Now you are getting 1 week, and then later SPM, you are getting another month. Yeah, exactly. Wow, there plus, you have like 2 months already. Good for y'all, lah. Good for y'all. So don't you ever complain you have not enough holidays, you are having too much. Goodness me, why are you guys having so much holiday? Hey, it's usually just 3 weeks in December one, usually it's just like that, or 4 weeks in December and then 1 week in Chinese New Year. That's all. That's pretty much it. Now you guys are getting an extra month because of SPM. Not lucky as Form 5. How are they lucky? Hey, my Form 5 students they are like suffering because they can't enjoy Chinese New Year in peace. Right? You see, the first day of Chinese New Year is 20th of January. The first paper of SPM is 20th of February. It's exactly 1 month after Chinese New Year. So how do you want them to enjoy in peace, you see? So there you go. They have to celebrate Chinese New Year warily. I mean, the schedule sucks. I really hate the SPM schedule. Why can't they just bring it 1 month earlier, whatever? Here's the thing. Okay, anyway, hope this doesn't happen because I heard next year your SPM is going to be in January. They will pull it 1 month earlier. They will try to slowly pull it back to December and November, which is a good thing which is a good thing, because if everything is so late it's pretty stupid, right? You don't need that much time to prepare, and it affects your university admission time. So anyway, let's go to number 3. Again, you have the same question. So P is your fungi, Q is your algae, R is your bacteria, same thing, S is your virus. Wow, so easy. Next. So how do they reproduce? How do they reproduce? So how does P reproduce? Okay, fungi is definitely spore. Okay, you might say, sir, cannot be conjugation, man. Can it be conjugation? Yes, you can, but we leave conjugation for other answers. So algae and bacteria, if you remember, algae, bacteria, protozoa, they all reproduce the same way. They do binary fission, they do conjugation. So for Q and R, you can draw to these two. You want to reverse them also, okay. Okay, you want to draw Q to conjugation, you want to draw R to binary fission, yeah, sure, same thing. So S, they can only reproduce by infecting a host. Okay, by infecting a host. Without a host, they will die. Okay, so C, mark for the correct statement and for incorrect statement. So microorganism P can carry out photosynthesis. No, they can't. Fungus cannot do photosynthesis. And then for Q, microorganism Q can make its own food. Can they? Yes, they can. And then microorganism R is the finest microorganism. Are they the smallest? No, they are not. Virus is the smallest. The virus is smaller, so they are not. So C, number 4, microorganism S can only reproduce in the host cell. Yes, they are. Okay, yes, they are. Okay, so this is amoeba lah. You can don't pay attention here, but I can give you the answer. So what is a group of microorganism above? This is a protozoa. Protozoa. So what is X? What is X? This X is what we call a pseudopodia. You might say, sir, what is this? What is a pseudopodia? Okay, pseudopodia. Pseudopodia. Do you know what's the meaning of pseudo? Pseudo means false. Pseudo means false. Do you know what is pseudoscience? Do you know what is pseudoscience? That means false science. Something which is believed as science, but it's not science. For example, horoscope, astrology. It might seem like science at first, but it is not. Astrology is just myth, right? So it's not a science, so it's pseudoscience. Do you know what's a pseudonym? Wow, now I'm teaching English already. What is pseudonym? Pseudonym is a false name. It's a false name. You are using another fake name. So that's a pseudonym. So false lah. So podia means feet. So pseudopodia means false feet. It's like their kaki. Kaki palsu. Yeah, kaki palsu. So they need this for what? They need the pseudopodia for what? They have two functions. Pseudopodia is for phagocytosis. For them to eat. Yes, for them to move as well, good. For movement too. You don't need to know this, guys. Biology students, they learn this, but you don't. So you can just read it for fun, not important. Okay, so anyway, why is it the same question again? Okay, virus, protozoa, virus again, bacteria. Wow, we have two viruses here. The two viruses here. So who reproduce inside the living cell? So they are the two viruses lah. So who goes under binary fission? That will be these two. Yeah, read yourself. Okay, do it yourself. It's okay. Right, so guys, the next question, right, the temperature one, this is next week already. Okay, so we can say that we finished this on time. Right, so go a bit, yeah, sure. You mean it here? Okay, so any question you guys want to ask? Gabriel, do you have any question you want to ask before you go for your exam? Or you're okay? Or you're okay? If you have any, just the essay, the one have to depends on luck already. See what your teachers ask and see whether are you familiar with the topic. Right, so if there's no question, no, number 2 C1, number 2 C1 here. Oh, why do we need to be specific? Because they want you to name the microorganism. They don't want you to name the group. By saying fungi, you are naming the group. Are you okay with this? Are you okay with this? What we are naming just now, we are naming the group. Okay. So any else question? Any else question? If there's no question, I guess we can dismiss early because I have nothing else to say. Right. So next week we will jump into factors. I'll try to do slowly this chapter. I mean, your school is not starting this anytime soon, maybe in March, so or late of February. So I'm just gonna, do it slowly. Okay, so if you have no question, then I shall see you next week. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Okay, so take care of yourself. Good luck for your exam, Gabriel. I will see you soon. Okay, so see you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.